What's going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint. We're back with another statue unboxing and review. This time we have DC's Killer Croc from their quarter scale Batman line. This is the exclusive, which is number 226 out of 750. I want you guys to hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, and let's jump into this unboxing. Alright, here's the art box. I like this. You have Killer Croc's reptilian skin with the bandages wrapped all the way around it. Little Killer Croc logo on the front here. Looks pretty cool. Little blood stains on one of the wraps there. So, not too shabby. Let's get them out the box. Alright, let's take a look at the base first. It's got some weight to it. Not too heavy, not too light. You got your Killer Croc on the bottom of the base. I really do like this kind of clear texture they made on the swamp. Like a watery kind of look to it. His footprint looks cool. You got the rat just sitting there chilling. The sludge coming down on the bricks and everything. Alright, you have this piece of sludge, kind of a splash that magnetizes to the edge of the base and it sticks out a little bit. I never really was sure why this piece was needed, but I like the clear resin look to it. Alright, here we have another magnetized splash piece, which goes on the other side of his foot. Alright, let's take a look at the body. All one piece. He's got the mixed media pants. Great detail on his body though, man. Like his feet, his back. Got a good weight to it. That looks great. Sharp claws on the hands and the feet. 2 strong pegs to go into the base. Alright, let's take a look at the head sculpts. So the first one, I believe this is the regular, and it's my favorite. It's more of his comic book look. It's more of a half human, half reptilian look. I like the scales, the teeth, the eyes. It looks really menacing. He kind of got these funny human ears. The croc details on the top of his head are great. Then you have the exclusive, which really has a crocodile look to it. I'm not really a huge fan of the exclusive, but it definitely gives it a different look. He's got that long snout. I like that white tongue on the inside. Very crocodile-like. And just another option. Alright guys, so a pretty easy assembly. He's just got the base, the 2 splashes, and the body. Let's put on one of the head sculpts. And there you have it. Alright guys, before we jump into the review of Killer Croc, let's do a little bit of background on the character. Killer Croc is part of Batman's Rogues Gallery. He's one of the villains of the Batman universe. He was created in February of 1983 by Jerry Conway and Gene Colan. He cameoed in the pages of Detective Comics 523, which has an awesome cover with Batman and Solomon Grundy on the front. This book averages about $200, graded at a 9.8 by CGC. His first full appearance was in the next month in the pages of Batman issue 357. This one is the Killer Croc key to own. It has a great cover with Batman being dragged underwater by an octopus, and this one averages about $500 in a 9.8. Killer Croc has been in many forms of media, from the pages of the comic books, to Batman the Animated Series, to the Arkham video game series, and most recently in the live-action Suicide Squad movie. Alright guys, so this piece, it's a quarter scale piece, but it doesn't take up a lot of real estate at all. If you're looking from the bottom of the base to the top of his back, he's about 18 inches tall. The length, with the little splash sticking out, is about 17, 18 inches as well. Doesn't have a lot of depth to it, about 11 inches. So, doesn't take up a lot of real estate. But overall, it's a cool, compact little piece. So starting with the base, I think the base is really where this one shines. I love the detail and the different coloring on the bricks here in the sewer. You have like the different colorations. You have the sludge dripping down. A lot of detail on the bricks and texture. You have the little rat there, which is just sculpted right in. Coming towards the back, you really see that kind of sludge and mud dripping down here on the other side of the base with the broken bricks. Again, I think they did a really good job with the texture and the sliminess of the sludge. I didn't really like the splashes on his feet when I saw pictures, but in person I actually do like it. It gives some more realism to it. It gives some motion to it, like he's just stomped down and he's lurching forward now. Yeah, I think the sculpt on him looks great. I know a lot of people aren't going to be digging the mixed media. It's very starchy type of fabric. It really has kind of like a work pants vibe to it, like almost like Dickies. But I mean, his body is, the sculpt is incredible. I mean, I love how they did his feet with those nasty jagged claws, all the textures they put on the top of the feet, and a leathery look when you get to the side and by the ankles. His arms, forget it. His arms look awesome. The shoulders, you have those hard kind of scales, but on the inside you have more of the lighter texture where you see the veins and you see some of the muscle details. Same with like the inner part. His chest has that kind of, I don't know, you see his pecs and his abs. He's crouched over. The wraps are done really well. The hands and the nails are done really well. And I like the neck. Before you get to the seam, I like the outstretched neck right here where we're looking. I think that looks really good. But it has one of the worst neck seams in the statue game. Like, it's really a shame. I think they probably should have not even gone with an exclusive here. Especially, I mean, you have the arm sculpted in. The head seam, especially on this one where it really cuts over in that jagged motion. I've seen a lot of collectors cover it up with like a rope or like a chain. I think Batman Statue Collector has a chain. Definitely the biggest flaw of this piece. I guess if you positioned it where he's looking straight at you, that wouldn't really be noticeable. Actually, from straight ahead, it looks great. Maybe even angled as much as you can until you see the seam. But I know they wanted to give the switch out portrait. I just think that probably was not needed. Speaking of switch out portraits, let's see what he looks like with the more crocodile head. Personally, I like this head more. I think it just speaks Killer Croc more to me. This one just gives him, you know, alligator man face, and I know he's a crocodile, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really feeling this portrait as much. It's cool, but it's almost like, what character is this at this point? I'm not even sure what comic series or where that's from, or if that's just like a creative liberty that Sideshow took, but the other kind of nitpick here is that he seems small because he's crouched over. I mean, he's an 18-inch statue, which is a pretty good size PF. But he loses a little something being crouched down like this. On the 1/3 scale Arkham Origins, or was it Arkham Knight Prime 1 statue, it doesn't take away from the piece because he's so huge, even crouched down. But this one, he could have stood up tall and it would have been a good piece, because I think he looks underscaled next to like the OG Batman PF, which everything looks underscaled next to that. But yeah, I think that the size of it kind of hurt him, and that neck seam is really killer, man. No pun intended. But it's still a great piece. I think those things could be overlooked depending on where you position him, depending on how you, what direction you have him face, because he does look really good, man. The paint on him looks good. Overall, it's a dope piece, man. The way that this came about in the Gempire is that I saw one of my friends on Facebook put a want to buy post for this, and I didn't really think anything of it, but then I remembered my boy Adrian was trying to sell this piece, but he forgot to give it to me when he gave me Joker, Harley, and Catwoman. So I ended up PMing my boy, and I was like, hey, are you still looking for Croc? He was. Adrian was willing to sell it. They were both willing to let me do the review. So that's how this all came about. So I'm glad to make the connection there for a chance to see this in person. I do like the piece overall, but I do think it does suffer from those two flaws. I'm sure that the buyer has an idea of what he wants to do with it, because it's an older piece already, and there's been a lot of reviews for it. But that's my take on Killer Croc, the premium format quarter-scale statue by Sideshow Collectibles. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Before you leave, if you guys like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting the gem to the left. If you want to see more statue unboxings and reviews, go ahead and hit the playlist to the right. I appreciate you guys watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.